Hi guys, Scott Woodward with you to talk about the Canterbury Bulldogs prospects for 2012, and of course they finished ninth last year, failed to play semi-final football, and with a new look list this year and a new coach and importantly a new support staff that will assist Des Hasler. And let me tell you, some of those support guys are the best in the sporting business, and from the mail that I'm getting, there has been a lot of room for improvement, and we can expect a much slicker, fitter and more switched on Canterbury Bulldogs in 2012. I'm not quite sure what changes Des Hasler will make to some of the players that we have seen in the last couple of seasons. I'm assuming he'll stick with Ben Barber at fullback. I don't see why not. He was the leading try scorer. He made more tackle busts than any other player in 2011, but he is suspect under the bomb. Not quite sure if he's going to be Des's cup of tea, and he does have some options. Steve Turner is, of course, an option, but I assume he'll keep him on the wing. Des likes guys like Steve Turner, guys that you can rely on, that are intelligent, and you know what you see is what you get. He likes wingers like that. He had Robbo at Manly, and Steve Turner is that ilk of winger. In the centres, it's going to be interesting to see what he does there. I would assume he'll go with Tim Laffey and Josh Morris. Josh Morris could be an option even for the wing. Not quite sure what he's going to do with Jonathan Wright. To me, I think Jonathan Wright is one of the most promising young backs that Des Hasler has at his disposal. I thought his form in the last few games last year was absolutely outstanding, and look, I think he's a candidate for any position in the back line, wing, centre and even fullback, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he's a consideration at 5'8". He seems to have all the skills, but he looks dangerous when he's got the ball. He looks like something is going to happen when he's got the ball, Jonathan Wright. I'm not quite sure where he'll play, but he's got to be in the starting side somewhere. He's a very, very good player. They have some depth in the backs with Bryson Goodwin and Michael Lett, and with the lack of a goal kicker, maybe Bryson Goodwin could be a serious consideration. They do lack a top-class goal kicker at the moment. The big choice for Des Hasler is who's going to be the number 6 partner with Trent Hodgkinson. You would expect that Chris Keating will be first in line. He certainly wouldn't be my first in line. I would be going with Joel Romolo, who can play halfback, 5'8", and hooker, but a little bit like Jonathan Wright. When Romolo, when he gets the ball, he looks like he's going to do something. He looks dangerous. He can bust tackles. I'd like to see his defence improve a little bit, but I'm sure that will be addressed. As far as defence is concerned, Josh Reynolds and Chris Keating aren't the world's best defenders anyway, and Josh Reynolds, of course, will be the other consideration for that number 6 position. But who they settle on for that partner with Trent Hodgkinson will be crucial to how the Bulldogs go. May even be Ben Barber come up, and then they've got to find a fullback. So I'm going to be fascinated with who Des comes up with in that position. As far as the forwards are concerned, there won't be too many teams in the NRL that will have a better forward pack than what the Canterbury Bulldogs will have. We definitely know that James Graham will be one of the props. I'm not quite sure who his prop partner will be. I'm assuming Aiden Tolman will not find a starting position as he plays a similar game to James Graham, but James Graham is much bigger and much more dangerous and has the ability to offload more, where Aiden Tolman is just a kamikaze, if you like, little prop who doesn't offload, and I couldn't have him in my starting lineup, which means he could have a problem in getting in the top 17 because he's not what you call an impact guy. So I'll be interested to see what happens there, but we're confident that James Graham will be one of the props. I think they might go with young Sam Cassiano, who had a very good start last year. And I think he'll continue on if he can go to the next level. Or his junior partner, Martin Tapo, an outstanding young forward who I think will make the grade this year in the top grade, make his presence felt. Outstanding future ahead of him. Probably their most promising forward import, James Cavett, I have a huge opinion of, and he gets his chance with the Canterbury Bulldogs this year, along with guys like Tim Brown. Greg Millington and Dean Hallertau will be the other guys that will be in consideration to come off to the bench. But the back row, Frank Pritchard, I thought was their most dangerous forward last year. Every time he got the ball on the left side of the field, he looked dangerous, and he was able to play good minutes, which I think was very impressive. Much more minutes than what he played when he was a Panther. And if Frank Pritchard can continue on that form, he'll make his presence felt down the edges for the Canterbury Bulldogs. Going to be interesting to see who his partner is going to be on the right-hand side. I would expect it would probably be someone like a Jake Foster or Corey Payne. Both those guys had good seasons last year. Corey Payne certainly is a better player than what I gave him credit for. He went to a level that I didn't think he was capable of last year, and if he maintains that form, he will probably hold down that other second-row position. One of the things I'm going to find fascinating is what is the training staff going to do with the injury-prone Greg Eastwood. We've seen some of Des's guys. They've got some crocs at Manly, not only onto the field, but they've turned them in from being slow runners into fast runners and the ability to bust tackles. And I'll draw Tony Williams to your attention. They've absolutely transformed him into a world-class second row who can play 80 minutes. And there's no reason why they can't do the same thing here with Greg Eastwood. Every time I see Greg Eastwood, he looks overweight, doesn't want to get interested, doesn't play long minutes. But in terms of God-given talent, he is a wonderful player. If they can get him fit and they can get all his injuries out of the way, he will go a long way to taking the Canterbury Bulldogs into a Final Four position. And I would like to see him play the lock position because he can bust tackles from there, but he can also run to the edges and give second phase play to some of the backs and guys like Ben Bauer coming through. And I think he would be very dangerous. Going to be very interested to see what he does in the off-season, how he goes in the trials, and where he actually starts. I hope he doesn't start up front. I'd like to see him play lock forward. If he doesn't play lock forward, we think that position could go to 3 or 4 players in the side. They've got quite a few to choose from. We've talked about a couple of the guys on the bench already. Really looking forward to seeing the progress of Martin Tapu. Want to see how James Cavett goes, and Tim Brown promised a lot last year, and we're looking to see if they can continue on from there. So look, there it is for me. The Canterbury Bulldogs finished 9th last year. I absolutely think they can win this competition and give Des Hasler back-to-back competition wins from 2 different clubs. I don't think that's ever been achieved before in consecutive years, and I don't see any reason why it can't happen. It's going to revolve around getting the 6 and 7 combination right. Trent Hodgkinson had some injuries last year. If he can come back fully fit and can find half a yard in speed and get his organisation and his kicking game intact, find the number 6 that will complement him, I think the Canterbury Bulldogs can go all the way in this competition, and I give them a great chance. So there it is for me. Good luck if you're a Bulldogs fan. I'll talk to you for the season. Cheers.